So the question becomes, what can we do about this? And I want to talk briefly about the Savory Institute. So the Savory Institute was founded by a guy named Clifford Savory. Clifford is a Zimbabwean ecologist, studies ecosystems, and a regenerative agriculture farmer, okay? Now this organization helps heal areas of land thought of as completely dead. Something like you would see in Libya, right? A desert or just really horrible topsoil or dusty topsoil that's been blown away. So they have this method for healing the entire ecosystem and bringing land back to life that was previously thought to be unable to sustain life. Not sustainable agriculture, regenerative agriculture. They literally regenerate the ecosystem and make it lush and thriving. They make the soil more nutrient dense. The crops they grow, the roots go down deep, 12, 15 feet. You're never going to see a monocrop anywhere. There's tons of microbial diversity, tons of animal diversity, tons of plant diversity. Looks a little bit messier. Doesn't look like your neat rows of corn. It actually looks like nature on a farm, right? That is how they bring the land back to life. They have a method for healing the land. How do they do this? Well, they do it with the systematic use of large grazing cattle. Ruminants, everybody. Animals. The very thing that vegans and vegetarians swear are destroying the environment from burping or farting or something. Insanity, right? Those numbers are wildly exaggerated, by the way. It's ridiculous. Carbon emissions from animals doesn't even come close to other things that humans do, like transportation. It's not even close. If you removed all animals from all ecosystems, it would barely make a freaking dent in the carbon emissions of human beings. Okay? That stuff is vastly, vastly exaggerated everywhere you read about it. Okay? So, they use the systematic use of herding ruminants from area to area where they eat the grass, they urinate, they spread manure, they stomp it into the ground, they do all these things that bring the diversity, the microbial diversity back to life. Their urine is rich in nitrogen. Human beings, we release nitrogen in our urine, right? Urine from animals goes into the soil. Nitrogen is very important for some of these processes that we've talked about, okay? So, how effective are the methods of the Savory Institute at bringing land back to life? Or, in other terms, helping the environment, okay? Think about the vegan, vegetarian propaganda that you've been getting fed. The Eat Lancet study, the remove meat from the global ecosystem, all this bullshit that you've been fed, okay? How effective is their method at bringing land back to life? Well, something to remember the next time you see an argument about cattle being bad. Sir Richard Branson has issued a $25 million challenge to anyone who discovers the best way to remove carbon from the atmosphere. Okay? $25 million to anyone who can discover the best way to remove carbon from the atmosphere. The Savory Institute is one of just 11 finalists globally who may have discovered the best way to remove carbon from the atmosphere. It's called a healthy ecosystem. It's called restoring nature. Regenerative agriculture. In layman's terms, large grazing ruminants, herded cattle, can literally help reverse climate change. What? Think about what I just said to you. Think about everything that you're told every day from the vegans and vegetarians about fruit and animals and the environment and I do yoga, right? All these people. Think about it for a second. What did I just tell you? They're one of just 11 finalists, close to winning a $25 million prize awarded to anyone who can come up with the best way to sequester carbon from the atmosphere. The number one problem of climate change that everyone's screaming about, save the environment. Animals are the answer, everybody. What are we doing? This is insane. And the thing is, all this information I just spit at you is 100% available to the general public. And anybody who analyzes it and tells you that it's not true is simply being dishonest. It's crazy. We have this Eat Lancet study. Let's remove meat. We want to eat less meat, right? Well, guess what? The macronutrients of these new Eat Lancet guidelines are the exact macronutrients that we use in lab mice to make them obese. Identical. So we do lab tests on mice because they share 99% of our DNA. They're very close to being like a human. So we do nutrition testing on them. And we take these macronutrients when we want them to be obese. We give them these macronutrients, fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Now the Eat Lancet study comes out and says, we think the optimal macronutrients for perfect human health are the same macronutrients that we use to create obese mice. Ladies and gentlemen, do we live in the Twilight Zone? What are we doing? Like, Elon Musk is right. This has to be a simulation. Life must be a simulation because nothing could possibly be this fucking stupid. This is ridiculous. It's insane, right? I don't know what we're doing. So, I'm going to end on this note. This is why Clovis has donated $100,000 to Diana Rogers and her upcoming docuseries called Sacred Cow, which will be literally a docuseries exposing how regenerative agriculture can save the world. Now, I will put a link in the show notes, and I hope that you will consider doing the same and donating to Sacred Cow and helping Diana in any way possible. And standing by what you believe in, standing behind what you believe in, which is what I do, which is what Clovis is all about. I'll include a link in the show notes for you to do the same. Also, this is why Clovis has donated an additional $50,000 to CJ Hunt and his investigative documentary called Dispelling the Lies, which is literally debunking all of the nonsense vegan and vegetarian propaganda that has been fed to you that is complete nonsense and manipulated data. Another 50 grand right there. 2 documentary projects because it's important. $150,000 donated, okay? I hope you guys will consider $5, $2, $10, $100, $1 million. However you're doing in life, I really, really would like to see both of these projects get funded completely so we can set the record straight. Okay? Again, I will include a link in the show notes and you can donate to both of those film products. We have to debunk this stuff.